then there's a small mini menu. Okay, so now we're recording.
Nice. All right. Okay. I'm not sure where this goes when it stops recording. I think
I
there
think
was
it
a
goes to the computer. So hopefully, if we have somebody watch this, they'll edit all this out.
yeah.
All right. Well, my name is Steven Simmons. I am a youth reporter for The Deadline, and I'm here speaking with.
Hello. My name is Jon Jon Stefan Franz. I'm a suburbanite mulatto activist. Graduated from high school Greece Athena. I'm now taking classes at MCC. I'm involved in various like mutual aid and direct action initiatives, stuff like that. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the sentence. That's my introduction.
That's a dope introduction, though, man. We definitely need more folks like you out here in these streets, and because you look so young, you can definitely inspire people that are my age and younger, like my little sister, who's starting high school this year. So
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So let's get on into these questions. So we've gone over what school you go to and how old you are. So let's get into the meat and potatoes, you know.
Oh, right. Wait. For the interview, because I forgot, we mentioned this earlier. Before the interview, I'm 19 years old. You mentioned I look really young. People watch this think I'm 16. I'm 19 years old.
He's 19. I'm 17. I'm not even 17. My birthday is in a couple months, though. So I'll be 17 soon.
Wait. What? That's crazy.
It's very surprising.
You look old, man.
Hey, that's not a compliment.
That's a compliment if you're under 17. But if like when I'm 22, I'm gonna look 17, and it's not gonna be a compliment when people say I look young.
You're gonna be out there leading protests at the front of the march, like, "Hey, yo, why is this? Whose son is this?
Bro.
This was my idea. I planned this. I planned it for months."
That's how it was when I pick up the microphone or the megaphone or whatever. People are looking at me like, "What's going on?"
There's gonna be a bunch of people who are gonna like select this, expecting a super professional like interview, and it's just me and you goofing around.
Yeah, we just fooling around talking about like, I look way too young, and that's the whole interview.
I mean, but like, this is the youth experience. This is oh man, there are sirens. That's crazy. I don't know if you can hear that, but
that's not good for the vibes of the interview.
But like, this is how it is. This is how we speak. This is how meetings would go. Like, if we were in a room together right now talking about like planning out the next event,
it would go like this.
Yeah, we'd be joking around, and this is the most I guess true version of an interview with a youth leader you'll ever see, and it's brought to you by me. So
nothing but pure authenticity from JJ and the Deadline Rock.
Yeah, man, you know what it is. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. Now that we got
get into the meat and potatoes.
So what is it like? How did you get involved in activism? Like, what inspired you to want to do this?
You mean like inspiration, or how I actually got involved? Because
let's start with inspiration, and then you can tell us the story of how you got involved.
Okay, so I mean, I've always been like, I'm raised by very like political and activist type parents. They're always trying to involved in like creating a community for themselves wherever they go. And so when I was 5 years old, we moved to Hong Kong. It took a while. I know this is a weird turn, but it took a while. But like we started becoming like politically and community involved there. Like my mom started a program or like a community called Sisters in Hong Kong, because she realized there are a lot of like there's a huge Black diaspora that landed in Hong Kong, but it was very atomized. They didn't know each other, and they didn't really have access to a community. She sort of tapped into that, created a community, and eventually got involved in like creating Black community, Black politics, like celebration of the culture, and also got involved with like helping refugees who were trying to find asylum in Hong Kong, or trying to use Hong Kong as a stopping point before they went to Canada or something like that. seeing that as I was growing up, I realized that very much what I wanted to do was to sort of be actively involved in any community I went to. And I know, like, I don't want to be passively involved in any system I belong to. And I think that's kind of like the spirit of democracy, and that's something I got super interested in. And so when I came here, um, I realized America has Hong Kong has its own version of racism, but America like is very specific. It's super weird, and
Yeah.
a lot of our culture is just based on racism. I was like, it's weird. A lot of people aren't like aware of this or like just trying to address it all the time. People just really want to be quiet about that. I wanted to be active about that, you know. That's how I got into activism. That's how I got into trying to inspire other people to talk about what they've gone through. And that's what led me here for Black Lives Matter. I realized a lot of people are talking about when things go down, I'm gonna be involved. Black Lives Matter, it's going down, so I'm gonna be involved. And so that's why I started activism. That's why I started organizing. That's why I started talking to other people who I know are organizing. That's how I started talking to what is it? What's the word? Organizers, you know, activists and stuff like
I can do a quick segue because when you said Hong Kong, I was reminded of a conversation I recently had, and I think we've met before. Have you ever been to the Father's house?
Wait, what? Wait, wait. Yeah, have we met?
This is insane because it was on. I think I was going in to volunteer, and I had seen because your mom was like the teacher of a friend of mine.
Yeah.
What is her name? I know her last name is Padilla. But yo, it's like, wait a minute. Does this cat look familiar? Oh man. This is gonna be the greatest interview of all time. I'm calling it now. 2020. We're flipping the script. We're turning it positive. We're making history.
How have I met you before? And now you're interviewing me. That's crazy.
Rochester's a small place with a whole bunch of talent, man.
That's true. Rochester's a small place.
Speaking about how small this place is, are there any people in our community that inspire you?
Yeah. So first of all, and like obviously my parents and I went into that. There are people who are always trying to see what they can do, always trying to see how they can get involved in wherever they land. Same thing for Rochester. They came here, they immediately started thinking, how can we get involved in like teaching? How can we get involved in like church leadership and stuff like that? Members of like Rochester Mutual Aid, which is a mutual aid network, a program that started up as Corona was happening. That was just, it was just sort of created to make sure people stay fed during the pandemic. And I'm involved in the network, and a lot of people in the network have been a huge inspiration for me. Like, I want to shout out Remy. I want to shout out Linda, Tori. They're all great.
Big ups to y'all.
Yeah.
Hopefully y'all see this.
Hope y'all see this.
Yeah, share with your friends.
I might send it to them.
Hey, most definitely. We gotta spread the word, man.
Yeah. Definitely spread the word. I'll send it to them. Oh yeah. Diala Payne, obviously. Is that how you pronounce it?
Diallo, I believe it is.
Yeah, Diallo. Okay. All right.
It took me a while too.
He's great. I met him during my the first protest I organized though, and he was a huge help, huge source of inspiration for anything I do after this. And so I'm glad I met him. Gabriela Torres, you should interview her as well. She's in Irondequoit. She's similar to me in that she just got into activism. Like she started talking to activists and organizers and just did her own thing. And meeting her by going to one of her protests and talking to her was just a big source of inspiration and why I just decided to do my own thing as well.
I might have to do her for the next issue, man.
Yeah. I'll send you her information and just check her out. Try to interview her.
Most definitely.
Stanley and Martin helped me out a lot with the just organizing, and they're just great. They're just great. They do a lot of work. They've been here since day one, so they're great. I think that sums up people in the community who inspire me. I also want to shout out Kennedy. They're great. I just follow them on everything. It's just great seeing how they do their activism.
That's what's up, man.
They also make like jewelry and stuff like that, just clothes. And just want to shout it out. It's great.
We stand black businesses.
Yeah. Stand black businesses, bro.
Now, I kind of feel like I have a feel on how your family feels about you being an activist, but I had it written down. So we just gonna skip that one.
No, actually, I got a lot of, I get a lot of criticism from my parents.
Really?
Yeah, but they're into like me being into community activism and talking to activists.
So,
but
like giving you pointers and stuff.
Sorry?
It's just like giving you pointers and like how you can.
Yeah, definitely like giving me pointers, giving me because our politics does like there's definitely a gap between our two politics and our way of communicating to people that they want to try to see not be there anymore. They don't want that gap to be there. And just I like my first protest was obviously messy, and so there's a lot of criticism with how that went as well. But ultimately they support me and they want to see me grow in what they do, and that's why they criticize me. And so I like definitely they're activist parents, but it's any criticism I get is just out of love. It's just try to point me to the right direction.
Shouts out to the parents, man. You know, y'all doing y'all
Shout out to the parents.
Raised the wonderful young man. Raised the
all
wonderful
parents. Everybody actively parenting. Shout out, bro.
Yo, man. Like you got kids, show them this and let them know that you doing your job right because you showed them this.
Yeah. And if your kids are doing activism, support them.
Yeah. Like it's not an everyday thing. You don't see that just like happening all over the world. I mean, it's starting to happen more often, but like that's a really big thing to see how someone so young like doing something that a lot of people see adults not even doing. They're too scared to do. And there's a 14-year-old kid, you're like, you know what? I got friends. There are people I know. I have a Facebook account. I got my auntie on there. She might be able to share with her friends. I'm gonna put together something. And then
that's right. That's the way you gotta do it. I'm glad a lot more people are stepping out and just doing it because they know they can. they know people, and that's all you need.
That's what's up. Like some of them aren't even like directly doing it. Like some of them are writing songs and they're talking about it, telling these stories and through music, art, and they're sharing the art online. They're painting and doing murals and stuff. And then there are people like me who interview people like you. Get the word out.
We all play our part. As long as you play in the part, it's a beautiful thing.
He be doing his newsroom joint. My boy Jeff. Shouts out to him.
Shouts out.
Jeffrey.
You're cutting a bit. Yeah, it's completely froze. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh. Hello?
Hey. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you again.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Seems like we had some kind of interruption in the connectivity, but we back at it. So
back at it. All right. So what question was that again?
That was
it
was about your parents. So
oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So now tell the people just a little bit about like what you've done and like the process of putting these things together, how you do it, and like give them a little something, a little taste of like what it's like to be you. What is a day in a life?
On a normal day, I don't do anything. I really like on any given day I don't really do anything. Actually, I don't know. Like I'm just like I'm a huge nerd. I'm a huge geek. So I just like I'll read a lot and uh a lot of my inspiration is just like people who read a lot and they realize that the stuff they figure out is applicable to their own lives and so they take it to the streets, you know. And so the process of just like getting into organizing or getting into activism, I'm not in a space to completely give people the manifesto on how you do this. but but I can say that if you um protests are great places to just network. It's not only just a place to be heard, but people there are great to meet if you want to bring something to where you live. So I realized nothing was happening in town of Greece, where I live, but I went to Irondequoit, I went to MLK Square Park, and that's it, right? That
Yeah.
yeah, okay. You know, you just go to other protests and you tell people, hey, I'm interested in bringing what's here to my neighborhood. They'll be more than happy to help you. And that, so the first things first, you gotta network. Like you can't do anything by yourself. Although I tried, I I tried my best. You can't do anything by yourself. And people will be more than happy to help you. They won't be exclusive or exclusionary about it because they know that you want to spread their message.
Yeah.
You know, you have common goals and you're only there to help. So like go to protests, meet people, go online, meet people, people in like mutual aid servers and stuff like that. All they want to do is just like they'll help you for no money whatsoever. So just see if they're interested. Um, and once you got resources, once you got people who you know will help you, once you've got people who will give you information, will give you counsel, then you just start organizing. You really start getting your mind around your intentions and what you're trying to do. And then once you got all that done, you go out and see how it works. Mine was messy. I was pretty messy. I got my intentions in my head, and I got um, what I thought was all the resources I would need. But trial and error taught me that I would need to go back to the drawing board, go back to the lab, try again, and that's completely normal. Um, you will mess up a lot of the time, and that just makes sense. And nobody will really fault you for it. You just got to go back and reevaluate your intentions, reevaluate how you organize things, reevaluate what resources you do actually need. And so that's why I'm not. That's not why I'm not in a perspective to fully tell people how to organize or be an activist, because like you're interviewing somebody who just started fooling around one day, seeing what they could do, and
Like, you get stuff done though. Like it's not like you were just out there like you had no idea what you do. You got stuff together, even if it was messy. It was there though, and that's the
yeah,
thing. You still have perspective to offer because you've done it. Even no matter how often or how many times you've done it, a man who has learned something can teach another person, even if they're only a step ahead.
that's thank you. That that's way too much of a compliment for somebody who like is literally one step ahead of any person who just has to take that step. But I guess if there's anything I want anybody to draw from this interview, is that just take that one step. All the other steps are ahead of that, and you'll figure that out once you take a step. So just, just get there.
For our final question to end this off with a bang, if you were supreme leader, not president, because presidents can't do everything. So I'm talking, you got total control. What would be the first three things you change?
Oh no. Okay. Okay. So first things first, I'm getting rid of all leaders, right? All of. No, I'm fooling. I'm fooling around. But I don't know. I don't. I don't vibe with being supreme leader. I do not want to be supreme leader. Like that's one of the main things I'm trying to change around here is that people are like people have a mind for democracy. I don't know. I guess I'd mm,
Become supreme leader, establish democracy.
yeah, become supreme leader, get rid of the supreme leader. The two other things I do immediately canceled out. Whatever I was gonna do after that is an afterthought. Now I'm gone. I'd okay, so for the time being, I'd make sure everybody's rent was secure, everybody's housing was secure because going through like a huge like I legitimately stress every day about just the eviction crisis and just the housing crisis in general. COVID, we didn't react to this properly as a nation, and I don't think as having a supreme leader would make us react better. But I do think that the way we handled it are putting a lot of people's resources and lives at stake. First thing I do is just make sure to secure people's housing, people's access to a house, so that it's not just mutual aid people trying to pay people's rent because that's really hard. It's really stressful. Um, man, other things I would do: defund the police. I'll defund the police. Um, I think that's a no brainer for like where the BLM movement is now and just how I think since the 70s or so, 70s or the 80s, we've kind of been in this loop of like people like over policing and then that not leading to crime decreasing. And since crime rises because when people come out of jail, like they don't have access to a job, so they do more crime. When people see crime rise, they're like, oh, police more. We just been in a cycle of that, and police is like way overfunded, and schools are way underfunded. And so the first two things I would do: cancel rent, defund the police, and then get rid of Supreme Leader title. That's what I do as Supreme Leader. You're welcome.
Hey, man, y'all heard it here first, boys. A humanitarian. He's with it. He's out here working hard, trying to get things to go through. And if you ever want presidential candidate,
JJ 2020. JJ 2020. I'm entering the race really late, but
hey man, for the youngest president in American history. I'll be a running mate.
yeah.
I'll sit back, take vice presidency, man.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Do it.
Let's enter the ticket real quick. Everybody just like they completely stop thinking about Biden, completely stop thinking about Trump. JJ and Steven ticket. There we go.
Democrats, Republicans, then we got the people.
There we go. The People's Party.
For real. Because like ain't nobody more representative of the people than the future.
That's right. That's right.
Man, it was excellent talking to you.
It was awesome talking to you. I really like this interview. I will talk to you more often now that I know that I've met you before.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Like, yeah, I hope I see you at the father's house. Friendship started. Friendship started.
It's been the deadline. Flash your boy. Make sure you send to me, and then I send it to Diallo. That way we get this on the site real quick.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll see how this recording went.